And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by. I apologize for cutting it short, but we are here with the lower semifinals. We have confirmation. Miyamika could not be found. Miyamika has been MIA for quite some time, and I hope everything's okay. Hope nothing serious came up. He checked in, but he could not compete tonight. So as a result, Naxin gets a walkover, and we have a TvT for the lower semifinals. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan. Representing himself, it is HonMonO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Naxin. Or Naxin? Naxin? I've been calling him Naxin for so long. Here we go. We have a TvT, a bit of a rarity in the Sparkling Tuna. We actually don't get too many TvTs at all. When it comes to Terran regulars, it's players like Nicaract, Battle B. Do we get any other Terrans? I don't think so. I don't think we get too many others of them. So yeah, we do have Naxin and HonMonO, of course, making deep runs and making it this far. And as a result, we have a TVP finals confirmed for today's tournament. Whether it's going to be HonMonO or Naxin, I mean, yet to be determined. Yet to be determined who faces off against Nice in the grand finals. Meanwhile, predictions are open. I think they're about to close, but if you're in the chat, predictions are open, so you can place your bets on who you think is going to advance on to the grand finals, whether it's going to be one Terran or the other. Just letting you know in the chat. Beautiful. As we're getting into our openers, and so far we do have a double gas opener here by Naxin going for a Rax into his factory. Meanwhile, HonMonO went for a Rax. Oh, did he go CC first? Did I miss that? I did. I was getting into my own tirade. He went CC first, Bobby. He's crazy. Oh my god. Something you don't see too often here in TvT. Very bold, very risky move here by HonMonO. Maybe a little bit overconfident, but yeah, very economic. The CC's already done. HonMonO, he doesn't SCV scout. He skips his Reaper. He goes CC first into Rax, into Reactor first as well. He's crazy. With these two gases, I wonder if we're going to go for an add-on swap and go for Cyclones. I'm curious. Yep, there we go. There's the add-on swap, and I think we're going Cyclone first. Speaking of, likewise, Naxin with this double gas opener is also getting into Cyclone production, but only making one at a time, as opposed to our pink Terran, who is making them two at a time. Ay, ay, ay. Welcome to TvT. Welcome to HonMonO TvT, I should say, because he is a very unique player. And there we go, second factory, Mass Cyclone, I feel, is on the way here from our pink Terran. And we'll see if Naxin is familiar with this. We'll see if he is up to the task to go up against nothing but Cyclones, because that's what's coming out here from HonMonO. We do have a tech lab on the way. I imagine this is going to be an add-on switch into, switch into, of course, the speed upgrade for Cyclones to make them that much faster. Yes, there we go. We are going for the add-on swap. I imagine it's either for the Cyclone upgrade or maybe tank production early on, just so we can fortify ourselves. You know, we see Naxin going for a much more standard opener here. He does have initial Cyclones to defend, but behind this, he's getting into Marine production. We do have a medevac drop being set up here by Naxin. Oh, so he's going to be the aggressor, at least initially. Meanwhile, it is, of course, that... I don't know what... I'll be honest, I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called, let us know in the chat. But this is the speed upgrade for Cyclones. Does make them faster, from my understanding. Cyclone drop is moving in to the main base. Likewise, we have Reapers heading towards the natural. We have two Cyclones in both bases here. HonMonO, he is ready for this. He is ready to receive. Oh, as he is being a little bit distracted here, but here we go. Does get a lock on. A hot pick up there from Naxin. Takes down two Cyclones. Ooh, 2 for 2 actually, as it is going to be an even trade. No, the medevac goes down as well at the same time. Reaper slips into the natural, but alas, gets 1 SCV before going down. Solid defense by our pink Terran player, HonMonO. He does pull it off here with nothing but Cyclones, and he is still amassing 3 Cyclones at a time. Oh boy. Not like this. Back in the main, Naxin just getting into his bio production. We're prioritizing stim. Tanks are on the way. The tanks, of course, will help defend overall. We'll see if HonMonO can somehow get on top of said tanks and try to break through into that natural base. Meanwhile, Liberator comes in. Do we have anything in position? We do have a couple of Cyclones back at home. There are Cyclones everywhere at home across the map. They will clean up this Liberator. Gets 2 kills, lost mining time. But really, HonMonO, he's looking to catch any kind of move out. Pushing in is going to be difficult, but any kind of move outs will be caught by HonMonO, as he's getting a 3rd base on location. Scans ahead of time, confirms what he is up against. It is going to be Bio Tank. And HonMonO throws down a 3rd factory, because we need more Cyclones. Clearly, more Cyclones are required. Naxin does confirm, does scout, does see the 3rd CC on the way. Does even delay it, actually. Does delay it. Ooh, as we are setting up for a double jump, it is spotted by the scan. HonMonO does see it. Can he intercept, though, as he does spot the drop moving towards the right-hand side? Cyclones are rotating over. Oh, and Naxin, he fakes out the drop. Okay. Cyclones are spotted by the Marine. And Naxin is going to push through the center of the map instead. How many tanks do we have? We have 4 tanks. Where Naxin leapfrogging forward, taking it slow and steady. Throwing down a 3rd CC behind this, so it's not going to be a 2-base all-in. Likewise, back at home, HonMonO is working on tanks and Hellions as well. We're going to round out his army. Again, because of these Cyclones, he's forcing so many sieges. Any kind of move out here from the Red Terran, it's going to take so long to actually get across the map. Oh, we're crazy. We're going to be picking up. We're going for a job. Meanwhile, the Cyclones are in position. No! Oof. As the Medics will survive, but they get very low. That was almost disastrous. But last, Naxin, he keeps his army alive. He unsieges. He's pushing out across the map. He has quite a lot of momentum going his way. What does HonMonO have to defend? He has 3 tanks and a handful of Cyclones. Again, Cyclones, they are very vulnerable. They are quite fragile, I should say. Maybe that's a better word what better way to put it. And yeah, HonMonO, he's just giving up on his base. Trying to build up this Cyclone Hellbat army. SCVs are going down. Naxin taking his own 3rd. Going to be threatening a drop into the main. God, these medevacs are so low. But Naxin, again, his goal here, he doesn't have to push into the natural. He just has to contain his opponent here to 2 bases while he gets his 3rd base up and running. The concave is real. Up! HonMonO, he gets within range. Takes down 2 tanks. Big pick off here for HonMonO. Catching Naxin unawares. More reinforcements are on the way. Again, losing 2 tanks is pretty huge. And once again, HonMonO, he edges closer. Once again, he gets another tank. Another 2 tanks. HonMonO just out-positioning Naxin. And here we go. We're stimming on forward. The tanks that were caught unsieged. They do manage to siege up. Red Terran force back. Gonna try to push on through towards that 3rd base. And again, the Cyclones, they don't really hold a candle to a bio army. another tank falls. HonMonO pushing on forward as well. Resetting the tank count time and time again. I do apologize if there are some frames dropping. It's just my connection to Singapore. Australian connection to Singapore is notoriously awful, unfortunately. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As we're going for a doom drop into the main base. So once again, the Cyclones are in position. No! Does catch the drop, but 1, 2, 3 Medivacs go down. Despite that, enough Marines and Marauders do drop. Not the worst trade from Naxin as he commits to the drop. Goes into the main. And the Bio Army just steams on forward, gets on top of the tank, takes down 2 of these Cyclones as well. One of the Cyclones at least. Boys have to be pulled, and it looks like HonMonO has been broken. He just doesn't have anything left to defend. It's only a handful of bio units, but it's going to be enough to take down 21 SCVs. Oof. 21 workers go down. But yeah, I see the chat catching up. I do apologize as well for the stuttering. It's just my connection to Singapore. Like, OBS is fine. My connection to Twitch is fine. Internet's fine. It's just high ping to Singapore. Smurge. Smurge, papi, smurge. So Naxin is going to be able to even lay siege upon the production as well. Trying to take down one of these factories. Again, the Bio Army can just steam on forward. Takes down a tank. And can he focus down these Cyclones as well? Looks like he just barely cannot. As HonMonO is able to at least try to stabilize here on 3 bases. He's been on the receiving end of a lot of this, but with a mecha army, he can slowly recover. Once again, out positioning his opponent, takes down 2 tanks. Oof, and cleans up these Marines as well. Naxin has had a good couple of moments, but maybe a little bit too wasteful here. He tries to doom drop on top of this army, but the turrets are in position, the tanks as well. He does take down a good amount of tanks. Naxin will lose his army once again behind this. On 4 bases, trying to get a 5th up and running as well. Naxin does have the better economy, but he has been very wasteful with his army. He hasn't been able to build up. And HonMonO, he is again slowly stabilizing. He's walling off. He's got more turrets on the way, siege lines, tank lines. Naxin gonna try to contain his opponent. He's got a sensor tower on the way as well. Okay, sure. Interesting. So Naxin, he's like, okay, you want to turtle up? I'll make you turtle up. He's throwing down sensor towers all around, trying to pin HonMonO into these 3 bases. Catch any kind of move out, while Naxin takes the rest of the map instead. Meanwhile, he actually does miss these Cyclones. Cyclones, they will deny the 6th base. They will force the Bio Army to engage. Oh, and now he wants it. He even has an E-Ray block here as well. Oh my god, Naxin, he's crazy as he does dive on top of these Cyclones. Takes down 3-4 of them. As again, he's just containing his opponents. Mate, we got a CC on the way. Planetary? No shot. Turrets, planetaries being thrown down. HonMonO trying to break 3, trying to break out. It looks like he will be able to. Again, there's just not enough here to contain HonMonO. As he gets on top of the sensor tower, at the same time, we do see Naxin breaking through on the right-hand side. Dropping on top of those tanks. Forcing a reaction out of HonMonO, forcing him to reposition. Wow, Naxin reinforces. I don't really know what's happening here. We need a scan. No. As HonMonO does have vision, his opponent doesn't, so he's going to be able to take down a couple more of these tanks. Can HonMonO just trading so much more efficiently? Naxin, he can afford to trade inefficiently just because he has a better economy, but here we go. He does them on forward. Takes out a tank, takes down Cyclones. Trying to starve HonMonO out. HonMonO, he is running out of mineral patches. He is heavily oversaturated, but once again the tanks are left exposed. We drop onto the tanks, and this position has been broken. It is compromised. As Naxin will finally take a good fight here, taking down both of the tanks, the Cyclones as well. And HonMonO will not be able to take this position. He can try to expand towards the north now. The eBay has been denied, has been killed. HonMonO, he's got a minefield. Ay, ay, ay. What have we found ourselves in? What's going on?
It's go time.
As once again HonMonO repositions, and he's gonna be able to shoot first. Like, this keeps happening. It's because HonMonO, again, he has vision and his opponent doesn't, so he's just able to out-trade him. As we drop into the main, get another couple of tanks. I guess good trades here for Naxin. Does lose his drop. More bases being taken. More CCs floating everywhere. As this time again, Naxin is being a little bit more attentive with the scans. With his opponent. HonMonO trying to break free. Setting up a bit of a counterattack. Sending a massive army out across map. He's got SCVs to repair as well. And he is forcing a reaction out of Naxin. Forcing him to reposition. Another base is being taken. Once again, another eBay block out of Naxin. Oh my god. Just being such a nuisance. The army gets caught out without the support of tanks. HonMonO bleeding out too much, and no, the SCVs are trapped. We can save maybe 5 of them. We can load them in, but no, the CC is going to go down. Naxin just taking full control of this area, of this map. Takes down 21 SCVs, and that may just be it. HonMonO, he's got 1 mineral patch left in his main. He's got 1 patch left in his natural, and he's got 4 patches left at his third. He has just not been allowed to expand, not been allowed to take another base. He's trying to break free. Naxin's not too far behind. Oh, we even have a nuke! Gonna try to force the unsiege. Oh, no! Yeah, HonMonO, I think he knows the position he's in. He's just going to stand in the nuke and everything will go down. GG gets called and Naxin takes game number 1. GG. What the hell did we just watch? HonMonO trying to make mech work, trying to make Mass Cyclone initially work as well, but he was just being contained here and he could never break free, could never expand, never take a 4th base. At times, Naxin was a little bit wasteful. I do think that HonMonO had better army control. I do think that he had better engagements overall. It's just there's only so much you can do when you're down 3-4 bases. You know, it's crazy just how greater of an economy Naxin had. And despite some good movements out of HonMonO, just was not enough. And with that, GG. GG, Naxin will take game 1. We'll see if he can do it again. as we get into game number 2. Catching up with the chat. CG's CG-ness. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Is one way to put it. The new TvT version of the old ZVZ Swarmer Spy. I mean, thankfully it wasn't mech v mech. You know, that would have been the worst. That would have been the worst thing if Naxin had an immobile army. Thankfully, you know, he had Marines. He had a Bioforce, and he was a little bit more active. We were able to avoid that. Thankfully. But it looks like our players are asking for a couple of minutes here to use the bathroom, so we'll give them that time. We'll give them that time. As Naxin just needs one more game here. One more game to advance onto the grand finals. Again, Nice is patiently waiting for the winner of the series. Something that I find interesting here about the brackets is that despite this being open to all regions, once again, the C players are having a really good showing. You know, Nice, HonMonO, they were the 2 finalists of last night's tournament of Grand Platypus Open of GPO. Naxin, I was asking him, I was like, mate, where were you, Papi? What was going on? He was letting me know that he went to the gym. He had a gym session last night, so he couldn't play in GPO. But, you know, Taiwan, Japan, they're here once again in the semis and finals. Unfortunately, the European players just couldn't quite break through. Dimaga had a good showing, of course. Mindu VK also fought hard against HonMonO, but they couldn't quite make it into the finals. And to be fair, we are missing some of our more star players, right? We're missing Wayne, we're missing Nicaract. They're not quite here to have these championship runs they usually go on. And here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, down in the series but not out. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Naxin. See in the chat. I don't know what just happened, but I liked it, Papi. Oh, you're an animal, Emperor Fuble. As HonMonO is looking to spice things up with a proxy 2-racks. 2 SCVs are sent out, and they're hidden here on the right-hand side next to these speed zones. Meanwhile, Naxin does have a wall off here at the Reaper Cliff already. So a good setup against this. Is there enough room here on the right-hand side to jump up the cliff, though? I do wonder. As Naxin is going for a double gas opener. Thankfully, he's not going for a Rax expand. That would be best case scenario for HonMonO. But Naxin, he's being a little bit more tentative here with his opener. A little bit safer, if you will. Now, this should be a Reaper rush here from HonMonO. Again, he's taking his gases back at home. And it's going to be on Naxin to react in time and to defend in time. Now, obviously, he's going to be down in Reapers, but we should be seeing a factory momentarily. Should be working towards Hellions. And boys will have to be pulled here to defend against this. As he's checking, he's scouting, and Naxin does come across the proxy 3-racks. Oh my god, he sees everything. And my mistake, I assumed that this was going to be just a 2-racks, but no, this is a 3-racks. This is much more committed. This is much more all-in from HonMonO. It's all or nothing. Naxin, he's aware, which means he should be pulling the boys momentarily as well. He's got a bunker on the way. Oh, Reaper Cliff is not walled off. Oh, and yeah, the SCVs, they do have to be pulled. One SCV is going to go down for both players. But Naxin has to keep the Reaper alive. Oh, he does have to preserve his Reapers. Has to preserve his units. Marine barely survives as well. As the Reapers are forced back. The bunker finishes. And Naxin holds. He is holding. We have a second bunker on the way, but there is enough room here for the Reapers to jump in. Oof. And yeah, we do see HonMonO bleeding out a little bit too much, bleeding out a Reaper. And behind this, it is not a Hellion, it is a Cyclone. Which does make sense against Cyclones, they're cheaper. You don't need a tech lab. And now that I think about it, because typically to defend against proxy 2-Raxes and even 3-Raxes, you would have to go into Hellions, and you couldn't really afford to tech up into Cyclone production. But because we don't need a tech lab anymore, suddenly this defense is much more solid. Cranking out Cyclones this early on just completely shuts this down. And HonMonO, he's doubling down. He has stopped Reaper production. He's going for tech labs. Marauders are on the way. Marauders, they will fare a little bit better here against Cyclones. You on Naxin working towards a 1-1-1. CC is on the way. But again, HonMonO is completely all in. A couple of these Reapers are being caught out, but the lock-on will be broken. And Naxin being very adventurous. Now, Concussive Shell isn't done. Or we don't have it, period. So Naxin doesn't have to worry about losing his Cyclones. Oh, this is a bold move, though. We're going for a drop? Oh, we are setting up for a drop. Gonna be moving out. We do come across those Marauders. Up! Oh my god, they almost one-shot the Cyclone. Jesus. Yeah, third bunker is on the way. I don't know if we can defend against this. Boys have to be pulled. They have to repair as well. Speaking of, the boys are being pulled by HonMonO. He is completely all in one way or another. The game will end. Tank does come out. Cyclones are focused down. Oh, even a bit of friendly fire from that tank. But the SCVs have fallen, and it looks like HonMonO, he just does not have enough. The repairs, not good enough. But everything else falls. And that is it. That is the army of HonMonO. He's down to 5 supply, 1 Marauder, 1 SCV. GG, good luck. And Naxin will take down HonMonO 2-0 and advance on to the next round. GG, advance on to the grand finals. Naxin will be our Terran representative in the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup number 37. GG, congratulations, and a really big win here, to be honest. Coming into this, I would have favored HonMonO. I would have said that he was the favorite player coming in. He is again, he has a lot more accolades under his belt. He's a GPO champion. Naxin is not, but he does take the series in the end, and he'll be advancing on to face off against Nice in a TvP. To face off against his countrymen, Taiwan versus Taiwan. Oh boy. Did anyone have faith? Yo, we did. We did have a couple of people bet on Naxin. Let's go. Congratulations on all your channel points. As we are getting ready for the grand finals. And we will be going on a short break just to prepare for it. It's going to be a best of 5 grand finals as well. Bear that in mind. It's going to be our final series of this tournament. In another hour, we are going to be getting into another tournament broadcast, though. In 1 hour, we're going to be casting World Team League WTL. It does begin. It will be upon us. So plenty more StarCraft going on tonight. Plenty more matches to be had. Plenty more games to be played. So stick around. Stick around. Until then, though, take this moment to drain your disruptors, to cook your Colossus, to marinate your Marauders. When we return in a couple of minutes, we will have the grand finals between Naxin and Nice. See you soon. See you soon.